welcome to Watch the Opinion Sports Edition, Wrestling Edition, excuse me. It's been a while since we've been on here. Been a busy work season, so had to go on a little hiatus. But not that anybody who's going to watch this had watched before. But today we are going to go over the SummerSlam in Minneapolis tonight and tomorrow night, the odds and my picks. I like betting odds. This is what I do for fun on here. If in wrestling's tough, but we'll see what we can get. So, without further ado, let's get into it. We have what is this? This is the wrong image that's up there. That's what that is. Let's start with in order as I have on the list. Oba Femi in Hell in a Cell match against Brock Lesnar. Oba Femi is the odds-on favorite at a minus 3,000. Brock Lesnar is a plus 900. What I feel is a little bit crazy about this is the idea that Oba Femi is such a big favorite, and here's why. Because I think that it's one of those things where we don't know what's going on, and this has been probably had the best build-up of all the match build-ups going on right now, and for SummerSlam. And I think that if Brock Lesnar retires, obviously it makes sense. Now, people don't know. This seems to be speculation that he'll retire or not retire. Who knows? But if he's going to stick around, he could still win, and it would work. And Oba Femi obviously would make sense as well. That's why I think he's such a large favorite at minus 3,000. I mean, that's an overwhelming favorite. But the build-up of this has been absolutely fantastic. Two of them going at it back and forth. It's the only one that seems to make sense, that they make sense out of all of these, all the matches that are going on. But yeah, I'd see Oba Femi winning, just because we don't know what's going on with Brock Lesnar. Speculation of him retiring again for real this time, maybe. But I still feel like if he didn't and he was going to stick around, Brock winning would still be okay. Have Oba Femi, unless obviously they seem like they're going to play him off as being that monster who goes and, runs roughshod through the WWE. We kind of need, I think we always need a monster like that in such a thing. But as long as they don't make it look easy, my biggest concern is with all these matches, 6 matches each night, they're going to find a way to make it like early in the year where it was 7-minute matches and they couldn't get going. I feel like this should be more of the closer to the main event than the Cody match, which we'll get to. But I think this is just one of those matches that should be and could be. I mean, these guys are big guys. They don't wrestle long anyway, but it could have a makings to be a nice classic. I love big guys in wrestling. I'm a big fan as being a fat guy. Of course, I prefer the big guys, but I will go with Oba Femi winning. I will not obviously bet on this. But so next up we have Gunther versus Nick Aldis, or I don't know, they're gonna go call him Nick Aldis. I guess yeah, because it's Gunther versus Aldis. He's not gonna go by Maximus. This they were able to get a good build up to as well. I think that their ability to build a storyline of this, it made sense for a long time that we knew it was going to, well, we felt that it was going to come to this. Those who knew that Nick Aldis was a wrestler prior to being GM, and because he didn't wrestle in WWE, so a lot of people may not have known that. I think Gunther wins. He is a minus 2,000 overwhelming favorite as well against Nick Aldis. But Nick Aldis made a good point that if Gunther's the only one who's got something to lose in this. So, I mean, I feel like this is the way they built this up between the animosity between these two, has a fixing for a great match because it actually has a great storyline. I mean, it was very subtle before. It was just employee versus boss type of thing, and then they turned it into something physical a couple weeks ago, and then about time made an official match. And I think it's just one of those things where Gunther wins, they can push him towards something else finally and stop being. I mean, they bring him back this whole like I'm gonna make him retire thing and blah 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 blah. But they need uh because if Nick Aldis isn't gonna wrestle after this, it doesn't really matter. Um, but I think it's just one of those matches that has a really really good solid background and something that the fans can go with and work with. So, but I'm gonna go with Gunther winning on this one. Next up, we have the 6-woman tag match, which I don't think anybody particularly cares about, to be honest with you. Um, Paige and the Bellas have are underdogs against Fatal Influence. It only makes sense for Fatal Influence to win. We know that. What I don't know which Bella's back. Is that Nikki or Brie? I don't know which one's which is back. Um, After injury, I think it was Nikki. And I mean, to push the Fatal Influence in the tag team champs would make more sense. Paige needs to get this match over with so she can go solo. No one really cares about the Bella twins. They haven't seen have any mainstream feelings. They're just there, and they really need to put over uh, the young girls. I feel, and so I would go with them at a minus 150. What would that get you? Minus 150 at 5. This shouldn't get you too much. Get you $3. So I mean, it could be a worthwhile just to collect a little bit of fun. That would be worth the $3. Gain off of that at 333. So yeah, so I'll go with the Fatal Influence winning that one. Next up, we have the 6-man tag. This is a match I don't even know why it exists. I don't think a lot of people understand why it exists. Fatu versus the Usos. Fatu, a forced fall from grace is ridiculous. I don't understand what the I don't think anybody fully understands what the WWE is doing. Solo rumored possible to go back to the bloodline, which would be stupid. It'll be on par for the WWE to ruin someone else's momentum with someone's star power. But hopefully that does not happen. Don't know why this happens. I feel like they're just running out of things to do for LA Knight and Royce Keys. Royce Keys needs to be pushed more as a powerhouse, and he's not. I don't know if it's because he doesn't have mic skills or what. A proper feud between him and Jacob, I think would be do well for Royce, and keeping Jacob on the solo aspect where he thrived would be fantastic and great. I think it's something they need to do. But they have Jacob and the Usos at a minus 270, and LA Knight solo and Royce Keys at a plus 180. So Jacob and the Usos are the favored ones. I don't even know which way this goes. I feel like this is one of those matches that doesn't really fucking matter, to be honest with you. But um, I guess you could take a risk on like who's supposed to be the heels in this one too. I don't even know. But taking a risk on the LA Knight match isn't bad either. At $5 will get you 9 at a plus 180. But anyway, so we have next up on the list is CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, which has the worst build-up. The name alone on this match should be something that could sell it, but they ruined it by doing whatever the hell there is they're doing by promoting this in the ring. They're both good talkers, but somehow they weren't good in these. The whatever they're trying to sell with their friendship and being mad about simple little shit is stupid. They could have built off of something that was more. They didn't even have to make it personal. They didn't have to make a good guy or a bad guy or whatever they're trying to do here. Cody is clearly not the fan favorite anymore, and in this match. And I've been saying for a while that Cody needed to flip the script and stop trying to be the Bret Hart of it all and go on a more meaner streak. I don't think he needs to win. I don't think he should win. I'm not a Punk fan by any stretch of the imagination, but Punk is the favorite at a minus 350. Cody Rhodes is an underdog at a plus 225. I personally don't think either one of these guys should have the belt, and I don't think any of these veterans should actually have the belts. There's no storyline to it, but I think Punk would do a better job with the belt because he'll sit there and, like they showed teasing on with him and Trick Williams, I think it would be a fantastic move. It's just moving on and getting these younger guys finally going. He started kind of did it with Cody a little bit, but didn't really go anywhere. Don't know why, because they just don't know how to do anything on SmackDown correctly. Um, but this whole match is a terrible build-up, terrible process, and I think if they just ran it with the storyline that one's better than the other and started pushing accolades and things along those lines, I think they would have been. Is this even working? Far better off than what the hell they think they're doing now, enforcing situations that don't exist. But maybe that's just me. But anyway, next up we have the women's championship match. Liv Morgan, Io Sky. This is the first Liv Morgan defense since she got the title 1,000 years ago. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know what it is with putting belts on these people and then never seeing them again. I think again useless. They ruined this match. I think right off the bat when they had Io Sky win um, the crown jewel champion, and then immediately announced that she was gonna wrestle Liv. I think that's kind of silly. I thought it was silly. We obviously knew it was gonna go there, but still, it's I don't know. I felt like it was just for it's silly. It wasn't whatever. It is what it is. But Liv Morgan's favored by the -200. Io Sky is a +150. What they will do with Io Sky, I have no idea. Um, Liv doesn't need the championship. She shouldn't have it if she's not going to wrestle. And Judgment Day already has two championships right now. Now that Rodriguez has the Intercontinental title. I mean, unless they want to fill it up with championships, sure, go for it. But I don't know where Io Sky will go after this, so I think she makes a better champion anyway because Liv is doing nothing with it, and she's not even selling. At one point I thought she was the best wrestler going in the female division, just less than a year ago. Now they're doing nothing with her, and I think it's ridiculous. So anyway, so now we have next up Dom versus Danhausen. Human Money's on a pole match. I don't know what they're doing with this. I mean, they have ruined Danhausen. I get. But I don't understand what their booking is with Dom and how they're trying to ruin. This kid had so much momentum, and they decided again to ruin another momentum on this. Doesn't matter who wins. Danhausen's favorite at -250. Dom is at a +170. So it means it has to be shenanigans just because Dom is a champion, I believe, in AAA, if I remember correctly. Is he still? I don't know anymore. Um, so it won't. Obviously, there won't be a clean finish. There's going to be shenanigans going on with Danhausen, whatever, and so be it. Then I have no real thoughts on this match. It's a gimmicky match. It feels like a WCW type of match, but again, it works for Danhausen type of stuff. I don't know, whatever. Um, next up is we got Sami Zayn favored by a -200 over Finn Balor at +150. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. I will take Finn Balor in this. He needs it, the push. I think he's better at it. I like where they're going with Sami Zayn's character. I'm not a fan of Sami Zayn anymore, but I like what they're doing with them. They had no build up to this. They finally did it on SmackDown. They did a great job building it up in one segment, and it was good. It was nice to see Finn Balor at the forefront, coming out, leading out the way. And I think Finn Balor still needs that momentum, the push, and he should. Sami Zayn had his opportunity. They got to stop with this crap with the same fucking rotation. I know Finn Balor is older, but we haven't seen him in the picture in a while, and he deserves to friggin' be there. And maybe I'm just because I'm a Finn Balor fanboy. I don't know. Call it what you want. But I think it's a little bit ridiculous that if they have Sami Zayn win, it's old, it's done. We're tired of old and done with. We're tired. We're done with it. And they need to start putting the championship on people who deserve it and that people can follow. Finn is finally getting back his momentum from the fans, and it should be that way. But anyway, so I'm going to pick Finn Balor for this match. For a variety of what they should be doing, as opposed to what they're actually thinking of doing. But next up, we have on the list World Heavyweight Championship match: Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns is a huge favorite at -1,500. Seth Rollins is a +600. Don't know where they're going with this match. I like it. I mean, obviously they need to finally have Roman Reigns beat Seth Rollins. I say obvious because I feel like this is what the company likes to do. I feel like Seth should win and just keep it going. You can't beat everybody, and I think that needs to be said. I think there's going to be a future with this bout. They should keep it's almost like they do with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. You need to have that person that they just can't beat, and at least cleanly. And I think Roman Reigns, obviously being Roman Reigns and his little bloodline, are going to go in and do whatever. I will still take Sami Zayn for fun for $5 for the risk of $30 because I don't know what he's going to do after this. Roman Reigns has got the bloodline. He's never hardly there again. And Seth Rollins just does better with the championship than other people do. And they need somebody who's around every week and he can do stuff with it every week and willing to wrestle, every week or every other week. So I'm going to go with Seth if they making a smart decision. Then we have Gable versus Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. Gable is an odds-on favorite for this at a minus 1,500. Penta is a plus 600. I will go with the odds on this one. Chad Gable, he's in Minnesota. It makes sense. This is the culmination of what made him study the luchador way, and I think there's respect here, professionally as well, that goes pretty much unspoken, and I think it's necessary for Chad Gable to win a championship that we've all been saying that he's deserved for a couple years or a few years, and now that he has an equal standing style-wise and beyond with Penta, should make for a great fucking match. And Chad winning in Minnesota, Chad winning it all will just be fantastic all in all on its own. So I am going to go with Chad Gable on this, as I'm sure just about everybody else is. Trick Williams on the add-on match against Baron Corbin. Trick is only a minus 300 compared to a Baron Corbin, who is a plus, what do they call him, the Nomad, plus 200. Honestly, I would like Baron Corbin to win this just because he came back out of nowhere. He's got nothing else going on. And it would make for this stuff like this, I feel, could make for interesting storylines. You could be like, why? Blah, 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 blah. Give him, Baron, a little push. It gives a new direction to Trick Williams. And Baron has a character who I think he's, with his experience and everything now and what he's gone through, he can probably play the game a little bit better when it comes to, not better, but play it well when it comes to wrestling other people. And we need a heel, because Trick is supposed to be a heel, I think, and he's not, even because he's so over with the crowd. And I think having a heel have this championship would be great. Because if they're not going to go back to Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes, I think this is a good route to go, because they could move Trick Williams up the ladder, and this belt could be used for, where I think it should be not entry level champion, but an entry level championship, to the point where it's for the mid card and the teetering on mid card, and that's what it needs to be, so we can start to see more people on that level more often, in which we don't, because they're stuck backstage and in catering. And this is where you can bump Trick Williams while he's got the momentum up to the next, whatever the next level will be, even if it is to go toward Punk. You don't need to have two championships. So championship's going to change somewhere in this game, in this. Now this is where I think it's a good surprise championship change would be. So for fun, I would put a couple bucks down on Baron Corbin at a plus 200. The ladder match did not have odds yesterday, but now they do. So the ladder match for the abandoned or interim, what is it? What are they calling it? Interim WWE Women's Championship ladder match. Sure. You got Charlotte Flair is the favorite at a minus 200. Lash Legends is that's why they were waiting for that. Okay. Lash Legends is a plus 800. Chelsea Green plus 250. Jade Cargill plus 300. Tiffany Stratton plus 1,000. The only thing that we all want that needs to be done is Chelsea Green needs to win this, for the simple fact that she deserves it more than any of the women on here. Charlotte Flair does not need this. The belt does not need Charlotte Flair. The belt does not need Jade Cargill. Lash Legend doesn't need a belt like this yet. And obviously, Tiffany Stratton's got a belt already. She doesn't need it. To elevate this championship to a different level, Chelsea Green on as far as the fan base is concerned, and to different people to show fairness to the fans who are more varied than the split on Charlotte Flair and everybody else. Would be the right thing to do. Would be to give it to Chelsea Green in that fan base, in all of us. Sorry to say, this woman can take a beat and give a beating. Has done her time, has the personality, and that's what this championship needs. It needs a different personality. Doesn't need this tough guy thing. Doesn't need this great thing. It needs a fucking smile. The women's championship needs somebody who's going to sit there and not be egotistical to the way of cockiness, but egotistical in the way that she is when she's fun about it and can actually wrestle for it. So even though they make her, almost, be a jobber in a sense, it she needs to win, and she can do something to this belt, and the championships in the women's division need to be elevated with personalities, and she's got it. That's it, plain and simple. I don't care if it's a top championship or whatever. It doesn't matter. It needs to be elevated. It needs to be remembered. It needs to give people a reason to watch. Charlotte Flair doesn't give people a reason to watch. Jade Cargill certainly doesn't. Lash Legend doesn't. Yeah, and Jade Cargill's doing well with the tag team stuff. With that crew, and what do they call them? The baddies or whatever it is. And Tiffany Stratton's having her own struggles right now with her personality on this. So the one standout of this whole crew that needs to win is Chelsea Green. Period. Amen. That's it. That's what I say, and I think that's the way it should go. So that's how I am on all that. I will take Chelsea Green at a plus 200. She's in second place at a plus 250. I would throw that on for 1250. So if you bet $30 on all the ones that I picked for fun and shits and giggles, I wouldn't bet. I only put the $20 if I put anything in. But anyway, $5 for everything. If you feel like going with this, you get a potential $72. You over double your money. You'll get 66%. So I put five. Well, like I said, you could put three too if you do this. So Chelsea Green to win, Baron Corbin to win. What is this one? Seth Rollins to win, which I just don't think is going to happen, but that's a long shot. Finn Balor to win, another long one, and I think at least this one was a shits and giggles one because who the hell knows, the LA Knight, Solo Sikoa and Royce Keys to win, and Fatal Influence to win, even though they are favored. But you can take the low favors. I think they were like the lowest favor on this at 150. Were they? Yeah, I think they were. So, I mean, that would make sense. So, I don't know. I mean, there's some risky fun ones on here, but those are the ones you put $2 on. Like I said, you put $10 in and you split them up into 5 picks at $2 a piece. Why the fuck not? It's just fun, folks. That's all it is. But thank you for watching. Enjoy SummerSlam. We'll see how far off I was on a couple of the picks, but I think some surprises would be fucking nice. We all hate the obvious picks, but it's a WWE, so they like to ruin our time. So we'll see what happens, folks. Enjoy it. Thank you for watching. Until next time, see you later.